about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs to the phone, dreaming of a better home, we while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the brujas let this last.
That was a great sounds of Watts with Outside on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, New Haven. My name is Prestige with my partner in crime, Long Island Raised, Elm City Made, E.Z. BlueZ. He's in the building. Easy BlueZ. You're better with introductions more than me. Who do we have with us today on Behind the Brand?
Ladies and gentlemen, life is all about journeys. Life is about a voyage. Maybe we were supposed to take a different voyage today, and we were not able to go on that voyage. We went down like a yellow brick road, and we got to sit in front of this incredible curtain, and we got to understand that all you need in life, a little bit of brains, a little bit of heart, and some courage. And this next man, as we pull back the curtain and see who truly is the great and powerful Oz of WNHH, we have with us today the man that makes this all happen, the man that sat down with Prestige and said, hey, now that you've left the one spot, come to this spot and have a show. The man who has put us on for almost 3 years, coming up in April. He is an incredible producer, a phenomenal human being. I want you to put your hands together, not if you're driving. Please keep your hands at 10 and 2, because we don't want any accidents. But mentally, put your hands together for the incredible Harry Droz. Brother, how have you been?
I'm good. Let me just make a correction. It's Harry Droz.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Droz. Or if you want to get Hispanic on me, is Droz.
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 Okay.
And don't think I didn't get to this easy.
I know nothing. I didn't say a word.
He said all you need is a little bit of brain to get somewhere.
No.
I got the
No.
brain.
No. Hold on. That actually, I was referring to the Wizard of Oz, where you have a little bit of brains, a little bit of heart, and a little bit of courage, which is all we ever need to move forward. And that's fine, it truly within ourselves.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of everything.
So I did take your shot, but it was not at you. Yeah, I did take your shot, but it was not at you.
Okay.
The shot that I took was earlier in the thing. Prestige started laughing hysterically.
I didn't get the shot. What was it?
It was about who should have been here.
Oh yeah.
Be a good, but not be a good human being. So I said what I needed to say, but no, I don't. That's the thing, man. Like, no matter what, we never need to see eye to eye to understand each other. It's one of the most incredible things about you, in like actually knowing you and learning from you. You have an incredible perspective, and you've actually gotten to see how this industry has arced and moved. And you went from everything having to be in studio, having to run it in a certain time, to taking the station, especially during, the horrible years, the years on Zoom. And you made that call and figured it out in less than a couple of days. What was that journey like for you?
That was an interesting time because, I work in a great place, by the way. Paul Bass is very supportive, very understanding. COVID hit. He didn't put any pressure on me. I put pressure on myself, to make sure that the station kept going. I think I deleted everything, but if you guys would have seen the outtakes of me actually doing the radio from home, it was on WNHH's Facebook page. So it was just it was interesting of me going live and trying to listen to myself from home on the radio while going live, and it was just a mess. But I think it was we were back up within a week and a half.
Right.
So, and then also I was like, Joe Ugly, who had Ugly Radio at the time, and I'll plug him now. He's no longer Ugly Radio; he's 2V Stream.
Yep.
Right, so you could catch him on YouTube and on Facebook and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So I went, and I was like, hey, I know you guys don't want to be down, but during COVID, you still want your voices heard. So I went and I helped them out too. It was interesting because I didn't know how it was gonna go over, and I knew that we were gonna have a lot of audio issues and stuff in the beginning until I figured it out. So it was a hard time, and also having to deal with everybody getting COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting COVID. I had a couple of people in my family who passed and everything, so it was just like it was a serious thing, and I was trying not to let that affect me, and like everybody was, I felt like a lot of people were hiding, trying to hide from COVID to the point where they actually subtracted themselves from life.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just maintain the norm for me. I'm a creature of habit. I'm literally a creature of habit. So I have to always keep going.
Of course.
I can't stop, or I go crazy. I mean,
I totally feel you, man. Cabin fever is a mother. It will kill you. It will definitely kill you if you're doing nothing. And in my opinion, if you're not doing nothing, I really feel you just mentally crash. Regardless of what you're doing, man, you just mentally crash regardless of what you're like capable of. But as far as changing this whole paradigm shift when it comes, just to regular radio station, protocol to, COVID protocol, when did you feel it was the right time just to bring everybody back into the station? Because like people probably got used to, we're used to it, just like, being here in our homes,
everybody got used to it. I mean,
what I'm saying? Like
it's hard. We have maybe 1, 2, 3, I think 4 shows that came that are studio shows. There's a few people who want to come back. I don't want to bring everybody back, right?
I understand.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But it's hard. It's hard because a lot of people also rearrange their lives during that 2.5-3 year period of COVID. So we have people who moved to Puerto Rico, people who moved to New York, but they're part of a team, a duo doing the show. So it would be impossible to bring certain people back. So I had to make it so that they're fully comfortable doing their show from wherever they are.
Right.
So I mean and I still don't feel like we should be in a situation where you have a full room, and that's Paul sneezing COVID on me right now, right? So I still don't feel like we should be in a packed room. So I know, like Paul loves face to face. He loves it. Paul does it. Paul will stack you, on top of each other in a room. I don't feel comfortable still with that. Right. Especially I'm a, high morbidity guy, that I have all issues that, I was having a lot of issues. Actually, I've lost a lot of weight, so a lot of my issues have gone away. Right. Just with the weight loss, but still, I don't feel comfortable with a packed house. Except if it's my family, where germs are freely exchanged.
the germs the germs
That's
you know
right.
about.
That's right. I won't
you.
I won't stay away from my granddaughters. I know a lot of people manage to do it. They didn't see their grandchildren for 2 years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do that. I was like, I always remember a line from Rocky 3.
Right.
When Drago knocks out Apollo Creed is on the floor. Right?
Yes.
And they're like, is he alive? Is he dead? And Drago goes, if he dies, he dies. I always see that in my head when I think of my morbidity, like, oh, do I live life like, oh my, I'm gonna die tomorrow? I don't live life like that. I can't. If he dies, he dies.
You more live for the moment.
I live for the moment.
Right.
I'm an introvert with a very a very expressive way of expressing myself, right? So
right.
I'm quiet most of the times, but if you ask for my opinion, I'm gonna give you my opinion,
of course,
with some strawberries on top, cherry on top, or however you want to say it. I don't run or hide from my own opinion.
Of course, that makes you who you are, and you are very opinionated. Just getting to know you over the years, you will not hold back what you feel or what you feel that needs to be said. Is that why you chose radio? Because you have the form to express yourself and express your opinion, and just go outside of your own shell a little bit? Does that make you feel at ease? Is that why you chose radio for career passion?
It's interesting. I didn't choose radio. I did not. It chose me. Right.
Okay. Tell me.
Which is pretty interesting, right? So. My career wise, I went to Gateway College, got myself an associate degree in business management with an emphasis on accounting.
Right.
Right. So, and then I got hired by the chamber to do I think it was at the time accounts payable. Then I became the manager or the assistant general manager and managing the whole accounting stuff. And I got really bored really quickly. Right?
Okay.
Like, I'm a person, when I come to work, I want to knock my stuff out as quickly as possible, right? So
of course, in the same way.
Accounting is like, if you're good at it, it's not a 9-to-5 job. Especially for somebody like me. Like, I never understand the people who spread their work throughout they go, oh, I'm here 8 hours. I'm going to spread it throughout the 8 hours. I would be done by 10, 11 a.m. So I started, and that was the time where computers started actually becoming a bigger part of our lives, right? So I remember being in my office and bored out my mind. We had just gotten computer systems.
Right.
And I said, I'm gonna start managing the computer network here at the chamber, right? And I started doing it slowly. I started just getting involved, and when the technicians would come in, I would stand over their shoulders and learn everything.
You're a sponge.
Soak it up, right?
Yeah.
And I remember before the chamber, I remember what was it? You remember Packard Bell?
Yes.
The company Packard Bell?
Yes, I do.
I remember buying my first computer. I think it was a 186 processor. I mean, the slowest thing, but at the time it was pretty quick for what we were doing at the time.
Of course.
I purchased it on Fingerhut, you remember, I don't know if your mother's.
Wow.
Yeah, I purchased it on Fingerhut because it was like a layaway system, right? But you know, they would send it to you, but you would pay slowly. And I think I spent like $4,000 on this huge paperweight, right? But what I did is, I remember because my wife looked at me like she's gonna kill me. We got the computer, and within a month, I decided I'm gonna just open the computer and strip it. Just took the computer completely apart. Now, I didn't know what I was doing. So now I had to put that thing back together. And, you know, it took me, I stripped it in probably 2 hours. It took me like a month and a half to figure out how to put it back together.
What?
Right? Because I didn't have, you know, there wasn't like, I don't know if there was Google back then, probably Ask Jeeves or something, right? So
Ask Jeeves. It was
right?
Ask Jeeves
Something like
that. Yes, it was Ask Jeeves. I think Google started to get popular. Yes.
So what I did is I just took, I would pull up the schematics and everything, and I learned how to put the computer together. You know, and then you know, I started building my own computers for other people. I would go to the computer shows where they would sell you parts and stuff. So I started building computers, and I started doing that. Then I took over the computer system at the chamber and everything. So you know, but I got bored. My daughter
I'm not getting bored listening to you on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ BlueZ is in the building. Harry Droz is in the building for Behind the Brand. Go ahead.
I was going to keep going because you said you weren't going to do that. No, so then my daughter was becoming a teenager, right?
Yeah.
And I decided to just do a consulting business on the side, Droz Works. And I left the chamber, and I started being there every day for my daughter, picking up from school, creating my own hours and everything. And you know, I did that for about a good maybe 10 years after that.
Wow.
And I remember I was here one day. You know what? It was 2016. Was it 2016? Yeah, 2016.
Yeah. 15, 16.
Trump had just won the presidency.
Yes.
And you know, I think Paul was a little, you know, he was a little off, you know, because Trump had won. You know, everybody here was like in a depressed state of mind. There were some people even crying here. Won't say who.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, remember, it was like a 99% chance that Hillary was gonna win. Chance Trump was gonna win. So I come in, and now I wanted to come in the next day with a cake to celebrate Trump's victory here.
Oh no.
But I couldn't do it. My wife actually told me, "You're not going over there this week. You're gonna skip. You're gonna skip your weekly visit this week. Let them heal. You can't do that." A lot of people were distraught. We were seeing it on the news. People, I remember that there was a group of students on the green who had the yell, you know, people were losing their minds, right? So I waited the week. I came in, and Paul, like I said, he must have been, you know, reeling because he told me, "Have you ever thought of doing radio?" I'm like,
Oh wow.
Radio. And he's like, how would you like to manage the station? I was like, wait a minute, let me think about this.
That's a swerve right there for you.
Like, you know what? Let me think about it. He said, you know what? Do it for a month. Do it for the month of December. And you could decide whether you want to continue in January.
Okay.
Like, why not? A month, I'll come in, see what this is all about. Lucy was training me. She trained me. Lucy's great. Right? Lucy was very understanding now. So so it was interesting. For that first month, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna change that. Oh my God, this studio is like, it's just not usable the way they had it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna change a lot of things, but I'll wait till my training is over. This way, I'm not stepping on any toes or anything. So
So
it took me about 2 months before I started saying, Paul, do we have money? I want to change this. I want to buy this. I want to do this. So, and Paul was just like, yeah, well, if you think it's going to be better for the station, do it. So I've been doing it ever since. I'm now what? 2016. Well, I say 2017 to now. That's like 6 years.
Yeah, about
6 years. Yeah.
6 years.
So
7th year, about to go on.
And it's worked out. I knew nothing about radio, nothing at all. But I'm still learning. What sounds good, what doesn't. I don't have the best ear. But it works.
6 years has been a journey. It went by so fast, bro.
Right? And you remember
fast. It was
and Preston remembers
like a lightning bolt. Yeah, man.
Right? You remember when I first, got introduced to Ugly Radio.
Yeah, I remember that.
And how I would go in and put on my gladiator gear and I'm ready.
Yeah, man. There was some epic debates. I felt when it came to just political status, just when you started your whole radio process, I think you were like the lone wolf when it came to your beliefs. I remember listening to a couple episodes of the Dateline New Haven where it was you just going.
So you're listening to Behind the Brand on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. So yeah, so what Preston's saying is,
yes,
we can't hear you. You're gonna have to repeat that.
You got. Oh, I'm going in and out.
Yeah, you were going in and out, but we hear you now.
Oh Lord, God help me. Technology is a shame.
So you were saying that you remember watching Dateline.
Yeah, and I remember you were the lone wolf. Just going at it. I mean, you were a Republican against 4 Democrats.
Oh, you're talking about when we used to do Pundit Friday, right?
Pundit Friday, I think it was. Yeah, it was
Pundit Friday.
Just I had the wrong name. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Well, it was part of the Dateline under the Dateline umbrella.
Okay, gotcha.
But
that's where I probably got it from.
But it was interesting because Paul said, you know what? I'm gonna bring him in and let him set off, a grenade in the middle of the room every show. Right? So he would pick a topic where he knew I was opposite to everything they were saying. And I would just go in and give my opinion, and then I would walk out. And I would have Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe would be crazy. Joe would be going crazy because he didn't feel like he had enough time to respond to me, and I just walked out. So I was like, and I did a show with Joe Ugly, Drive-By Headlines, which he wasn't able to stick with because he was getting his ass handed to him every week.
You know what? To each his own. He's not here in this program right now. That man should defend himself.
Oh, he can't
would you say
he can't defend himself?
To each his own, out of respect.
No, it was handed to him every week.
You know, honestly, that's another opinion. If he was here on this program right now, maybe it'd be a little.
He loses his mind. He loses his mind. But yeah, so he left the show because he told me I couldn't say certain things.
Oh Lord.
Right.
Yeah, he tried to restrict me from playing Malcolm X or certain things on the radio. I'm like, you're insane. Not only can't you tell me what not to do, I'm gonna do it 10 times over now because you said not to.
Right.
So yeah, so he couldn't deal. And then I had my show, Breaking News, which I would drive people nuts. I've thought of bringing it back now that Trump is running. But
are you?
I'm not. I don't think I am. The weather has been pretty good, so it hasn't been cold enough, right? So I like it to be really cold so I can make the snowflakes melt. But the weather's good. They're melting on their own.
There you go.
Paul right behind me.
Oh Lord. I actually thought Paul Bass said something for a second. But just as we learned about this whole process.
That's one of the things that I always found. Well, no, that's one of the things that I've always found very, very interesting is I love how like Harry, you take a look at the room, you can read the room really well. And in the times that even you and I have spoken, we don't have to agree on everything, but honestly, you and I think have a more mature relationship when it comes to stuff anyway, because we can talk about it when there are other people that just push an argument point because they only want to hear their own voices. I've never gotten that vibe from you. I know that is a part you have played, but I've never actually gotten that vibe from you as a human being. I actually completely respect and actually love you as a human being. I hope you know that. So, and it's really interesting to see because like we've had many different topics on when we talked about like, if there's cancel culture or not, when we truly understand that what people are perceiving as cancel culture is just capitalism. You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. You froze for a second.
You froze and you sped up. A lot was going on.
So what people perceive.
Yeah, go ahead, easy.
Of course, I'm talking about real topics. So what people perceive as cancel culture is really just anything?
No.
Better?
No. Okay, so
next
so question.
Culture is really just a product of capitalism.
Man.
And now you're all completely frozen.
No, we're all completely frozen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Go ahead, Preston. Next question.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think he was trying to say, I was just trying to sum up the words in his sentences a little bit because it was a little mumbled just with the whole Wi-Fi technology. But I think he's trying to say you were a good human being and just the conversations he had with you, just based on cancel culture and just how you should present yourself in public these days in 2023. It was good, meaningful conversation, what you had against people. There was this conversation when we had the promo pics for the station. I think it was like last year, probably a little bit before the fall when we saw you last time face to face. And we were talking about, just about pronouns and how you introduce yourself to people. Okay, let me know your name. Let me know more about you. Let me understand more about you so I can just respect you more as a person, and just different conversations how you have with people. So he was just trying to break down from what I got from Easy's words that you know how to read people more and probably even better since you got this position at the station. Are we right or are we wrong?
Well, I read, yes, you're right. Part of my whole process is always I'm reading body language all the time.
Right.
A lot of times people are saying things with their mouth, but telling you a different story with their body language.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm reading, right? I know when I'm making somebody uncomfortable. I know when to withdraw my opinion. Now, what Easy's saying is see, where I stand is I want freedom for everybody, right?
Of course.
Everybody should be free to think what they want, to do what they want, as long as it's not harming someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that's where I live, right? I'm gonna say and do whatever I want, regardless, right? So I want you to have the freedom too. Now, I'm not gonna restrict you, so please do not restrict me. See, so that's where I live, right? So when it comes to people trying to restrict me, I can't do it. Especially, the way I grew up, where I came from, if you didn't speak up, you were laying down, right? So I've always had to speak up, respond to any aggression with aggression, unless your aggression is completely from ignorance. If your aggression is completely from ignorance, then I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to your whole rant, to your whole, anger and all that, and read it. And if I know you're just doing it because you just don't know any better, I'll try to explain myself when everything's calmed down. Because when somebody's showing you that they're not interested in actually listening to what you're saying, that they're just gonna attack, then there's no point. I don't have, as an introvert, I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the energy for that. I budget my energy every day, right? So, and that was a major thing for me, doing everything from my house during COVID and everything, and having to come back to the studio. I get drained by all the social interaction. So I budget my time so that I'm able to not only, fulfill what I have to do for the day, but actually be present for my wife, and my grandchildren and everything. So it's important for an introvert, especially to understand that we're different. We don't live out loud, right? So, and when you're demanding my time and my energy, I have to see it as being worth it. A lot of times people are standing right next to me, having a conversation with me, sometimes even yelling and trying to get my attention, and I don't notice until they touch me. They tap me. Hey, I've been here, and I'm like, oh, because if I don't budget it into my time, it doesn't exist a lot of times. It's a totally different mindset. I explain it by, I have a whole bunch of balloons up in the air, a bunch of different things on my plate, but they're balloons up in the air. And I have to actually choose to pull which balloon I'm going to give attention to. I have to put it all the way down. And I do that every day, even with my home life. I know I'm going home and my wife's going to want to talk about her day, and I have to be present for that conversation because she wants me to care about what she's feeling, right?
Right, of course.
So that's something I have to actually consciously do. If not, for a lot of years, I would live like in my own space and time where I'm looking through a person, I'm not paying attention to you. And I learned, I learned to be a better husband, a better grandfather, better everything.
Now,
but it's hard for introverts to learn that.
Being introverted myself, I do agree. But we know why Paul Bass chose you. Why did Love Babs choose you? It seems like you're like a co-host of her program when I watch in the mornings. The chemistry is really good.
I don't think you should say that.
Yeah, I should say that.
No, I don't think you should. That's bad. That's Bab's show, right?
That's Bab's show, yes.
It's Bab's show.
Understandable.
So she I haven't been on a lot lately.
Yeah.
But when we do have a certain chemistry when we're having a good conversation and everything. I don't know. It really was Paul.
Okay.
Who said you guys should interact with each other. You know, initially he wanted me to be part of the poster and everything when he was thinking of this. I knew he goes again for me personally, my energy. I knew I couldn't be a co-host. So I could do hit and run stuff.
Right.
But it has to be hit and run. It has to be when I choose and everything. That's how I operate. So I know when I need a break from doing this show. I know. So right now I've been on a break. I need to replenish. But yeah, I mean, no, you know, Babs does her own thing. She runs basically her own show. So.
Of course.
Right.
And you gotta respect that on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Maid, who's been battling with these Wi-Fi demons. Easy Blues. Easy Blues. I know you got something to say. Go right ahead. Talk to Harry.
No, it's super interesting because even like becoming part of the station and part of the show initially, from seeing what you showed of your personality through your shows and different things like that, a lot of people were like, oh, you're out of your mind if you're going to do that, because they're going to really try to put you in a box, and you've never ever. And dude, I'm out there. I am fully out there. I am insane. I live the way that I live and that's the way that I feel, and you've never tried to extinguish my flame, and I really appreciate that. And in fact, you became like our biggest supporter and our biggest proponent. I remember the first year that we did Christmas party, you introduced, like, Prestige couldn't be there, but you introduced me. I was hiding literally like in the corner of the Zoom screen, and said how much, you loved the show and what we were doing. Now you've launched a whole bunch of shows since you've taken over. Is there a particular mind frame that you have when you're trying to bring somebody in, or are you just a spaghetti type of guy and you just throw it against the wall and see what sticks?
Everybody wants a show. That's the first thing.
Of course.
I mean, everybody wants a show. So I get lots of requests, right? I pick and choose. I like to do things differently, right? So if you make me think, I like to think. So I go, that's an opinion I might want to listen to because they're different, right? By the way, I love both of you guys on your show. I mean, I love Behind the Brand. Of course, I gotta say this. I love Preston doing radio since Ugly Radio. When Preston used to take over in the morning, like if Joe wasn't there, it was the best shows. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I know Preston went to broadcasting, right? School.
I did. I go to broadcast.
Right. So it's like, as soon as you would take over, it would be like a professional show, right? So I'd be like, so I really appreciated that. And I looked at what he was doing, right? So for me, it's what's interesting, what's different. I mean, I have a lot of people that I talk to come in here, and they want to show, but they really haven't developed the idea of it. They want me to do it for them. I can't do that. You want to show, you better come with the whole idea of your show. You can't expect me to fill in the gaps for you. Some people will be like, "Oh, I see you on Bab's show. Maybe you could come on our show." I don't do that. I'm not. I'm the station manager, the producer. I'm not there to save your show, right? So you have to be able to come up with your own ideas. So and I gotta say, our shows on the station are great. The personalities and everything, they're all strong personalities. It's like I don't have to. I could sit here and disagree with. I'm sitting here listening to everybody's show as it's going on. I can sit here and disagree with everything, but still love the conversation and and everything. So like Easy's thinking, people think I'm gonna put Easy in a box. Nobody puts Baby in a box, right? In a corner. So and actually I love Easy's extroverted personality. I love that because it's not me, right? So if you could be different from me, I love that. I think, and then the guts that it shows to put yourself out there. Love it.
What shows do you miss?
What shows do I miss? Like that have gone?
That have gone, yes. That are no longer with this platform anymore. That went to other opportunities.
Well, we have Betsy Kim is doing specials now, right?
Okay.
So she's Law, Life, and Culture. So she lives in New York, and she asked me from time to time, "Hey, is there a slot for me?" I love Betsy Kim. She is such an interesting person, right? And she disagrees with everything that my opinion on politics, and she disagrees with everything, and we have a great conversation every time.
Cool.
She doesn't take anything personal, and everything. I love people like that. So Betsy Kim definitely, because she used to come in here on Fridays, and we used to have fun. Oh my God, Marcy, what's her name?
Quay, I think Marcy Quay.
No, that's Mercy.
Mercy, okay.
Marcy was the older lady who used to do a law show too, and
okay,
she was great too. May she rest in peace. Yeah, Mercy was different. Mercy Quay, I like Mercy Quay. Since you mentioned her, Mercy was different. She didn't have a lot of time, so it was hard for her to do her show every week and everything, but her personality was awesome too. So yeah, I gotta say, initially, I shouldn't say initially, because Paul's been bringing Paul's brought like 3 people in the last month. I think they should have a show. Talk to them. And I'm like, I don't have any slots. I don't have time. I don't have time to babysit. I don't have time to this. So, but initially it was Paul would bring people in and say, do a show, and until I got comfortable enough to say, nope, this is what I'm gonna do. So, but yeah, miss is a hard word because I don't have a long memory.
Gotcha.
Right, so I don't miss a lot, but the personality is definitely.
Your favorite moments in your radio career?
My favorite moment
so far. So far.
My favorite moment was
you got many more to come.
I did a show. I was a guest on a La Voz show, the Immigrante. It was an immigrant show and everything. And I went in with, I guess, with my American flag wrapped around my shoulders and talking about how our border needs to be closed.
Oh, Lord.
And everything. So it was my favorite just because they lost their minds over that. Right? And the guy won't talk to me. The host, this was about 3 years ago. And he still won't talk to me.
Really?
3 years later. So I even had to produce a show for him once in our studio because William, the producer over there, was on vacation. And he came in and he would not look at me at all. He did until the show went live, he was looking at the wall. And then when the show went live, he finally.
Wow.
So it's like, hey, my opinion, but you don't have to let it affect you like that.
And that's the other thing is no matter what, this is the entertainment business, and you have to bring some sort of flair to it. You have to, Prestige and I are huge wrestling fans. What you did is what's called the great heel move. It evokes an emotion. You were able to evoke an emotion, and because of that, they probably got more viewers.
Definitely. And it says we're gonna do a wrestling analogy. Let's say I clotheslined them.
Yeah.
And he couldn't bounce back.
Right.
And I made, I have a gift. I say I have a gift. I have a gift to reveal people for who they are, right? So if you get in a tough conversation, I usually make you reveal who you are in that tough conversation because I'm being so brutally honest that I make you be brutally honest. And that and usually brutal honesty is not very good looking on somebody.
Right.
So me, it is what it is, right? So that's how I live. Oh, it fell out my mouth. Now let's all deal with it.
Right.
So another favorite, I was on Joe Ugly radio with the pastor, Reverend
oh boy.
Yeah.
The good Reverend.
Love that guy.
I won't say his name. I
love that guy.
Great friend of mine, yes.
So, yeah. And I got him to
good friend.
Review himself.
Good friend.
Too.
Oh boy.
Right? So we were talking about January 6th.
Oh boy.
And I got him to say that all of them should have been shot and killed. And like, Reverend, take that back. Take it back. But I pride myself in having people review who they are.
Right.
But I like him.
And we like you, Harry.
I like everybody. That's the thing. I like everybody, even though you think I'm an idiot, I'm a this, I'm a that. I don't like you. Also, because I don't put much value on other people's negative opinions of me. I love myself too much.
Right.
That's the attitude to have. You gotta love yourself first. You always gotta put yourself first. But we don't have so much time within this broadcast. We want to just thank you for having us on your platform. We appreciate you, Harry, we really do. But any words of advice that you would give to anyone who wants to be in a similar path as yours, and anything that we can look forward to on WNHH LP 103.5 FM in the future. Time is yours.
So, my advice would be to watch Behind the Brand every week.
Hey.
12 p.m.
Thursdays
and Fridays.
There you go. There you go.
But my advice would be just to live outside the box. Don't close yourself to opportunities, even though you go, oh, I didn't go to school for that. I didn't, train for this. I didn't. If opportunity knocks, open the door and see who's, calling. Say, hey, and that opportunity just might fit you like a glove. So don't put yourself in a box. Don't close that box and live there. Because I know it's look, in life, it's hard to step outside the box. That's where I love to step outside the box because I'm claustrophobic. So I have to step outside the box.
Right.
And I don't like living by anybody else's rules. So there's that.
True. This is definitely true.
There's that. But you guys are great. What do we have to look forward to? We started a new show Mondays at 2 with I think you know him, Fly Ty. He was on Joe Ugly Radio.
Fly Ty.
If
I see him,
the poetry guy.
I'm better with faces.
Yeah, he's a poetry guy and
okay.
A motivational guy and everything.
Okay.
He does a pretty good show. He's done 2 shows so far. He's building. He has some to grow, but he's willing to grow. He looks good. Right. And also Marcy Lynn, 11 a.m. on Thursdays. So, she's bringing a show about the community, bringing people we don't normally hear from into the studio. So, those are 2 new shows. And also Betsy Kim is, wants to start doing more shows and will be broadcasting. She's, live from New York, wherever she's at. So, yeah. Right. So we do, and like I said, Behind the Brand, Cannabis Corner, Tom Ficklin, Love Bass, Love Talk, Dateline New Haven with Paul Bass. He does a pretty good show, that guy, Paul Bass. Tune in.
A lot of talent here. A lot of talent. A lot of dedicated people doing what they want to do here. And we appreciate it.
A lot of local talent.
Yes, sir.
Now, before you go, because I'm on the show, I forgot to cue music and everything. So if there's anything else you want to ask me while I'm queuing up this music, feel free. But let me just say, you're listening to Behind the Brand on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio. Preston?
New Haven. I couldn't say it better myself. Easy Blues. What you got to say?
Easy.
Easy still with us. I see the movement.
Yeah,
a little bit.
He's
but that's a nice still photo of Easy Blues, though. You cannot knock that. That is a nice still. But Harry, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Happy to learn a little bit more about you, brother.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Word.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs to the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone.